welcome back to Stole My Line, a Fireside film podcast. I'm Grant.
I'm Drew.
And today we are going to be discussing Good Will Hunting. But first, how are you, Drew?
I'm good. How are you, Grant?
I'm doing well. It is a slightly muggy but nice day.
It's a little hot for a fire.
It is a little hot for a fire. That's kind of the gimmick that we created for ourselves. Also, if you aren't aware from our first episode, we've decided to do this entire podcast outdoors.
It's
so
true.
There will be, you can probably hear cicadas in the background. You probably could last episode. They're going to be loud, and that's just par for the course.
It's the vibe.
Yeah, if you're an audiophile, I like good, clean audio as much as the next person, but this is not that podcast.
It's not that podcast.
Go listen to something else if you want good, clean audio. But
go listen to like a David Attenborough nature documentary.
Something like that. Yeah. So, anyway, would you like to dive into this film?
I'm excited.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
So, if you don't know, we've added a few things to our structure too, which we'll get into as we go. So, if you heard our last episode on Get Her Back, we have added a few things since then, but we're going to do a film synopsis. So if you want, you can go ahead and open up just IMDb. This should be what you read on IMDb. We're just going to read what the film is about so you know what we're talking about. If you haven't seen Good Will Hunting, go watch it before you listen to this podcast.
But if you're already listening, don't watch it until the end. Well,
yes.
No. For your sake, go watch the movie.
Go watch the movie.
We'll live.
Yeah. Just come back to this podcast, please. But
I'm getting smoked out of my mind right now.
There is so much smoke. It's been floating between me and Drew. So, yeah, if he's ever coughing randomly in the podcast, we'll try to edit it out. But
I'm taking years off my life right now.
Okay, hit us with that synopsis.
As I'm literally crying. Okay. A touching tale of a wayward young man who struggles to find his identity. I can't see. You have to read it.
Okay, I'm going to read this because Drew can't see because of the smoke in his eyes. A touching tale of a wayward young man who struggles to find his identity, living in a world where he can solve any problem except the one brewing deep within himself, until one day he meets his soulmate who opens his mind and his heart.
And that soulmate was Robin Williams. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
How do you feel? Do you feel like that synopsis describes the film well, or what do you think?
No, I don't, because I don't think it's the soulmate that opens his heart. I mean, I think it is to some extent, but I think Robin Williams played a huge part in that, and it didn't mention him at all.
Let's pause on the technicalities of the film, because that will be for, I guess, our spoiler-filled section.
Yeah.
Spoiler-free. First off, this is a rewatch. You're legitimately crying.
I'm
right?
actually crying.
There are tears streaming down your face. This is awesome.
Okay. I think I cried the first time I saw this movie. I think I did. I watched it with my mom when I was like 16.
Okay, I guess it's par for the course.
Golly, Mom.
First time viewing, or is this a rewatch for you?
This is a rewatch. I've seen this movie before.
Okay, I have too.
Yeah.
Safe to say, I think a lot of these weekly watch films will be rewatches. Not all of them. Maybe one of us has seen it, the other hasn't. But this one is a rewatch. Give me, Drew, your spoiler-free, just general feelings on this film with some cicadas in the background.
General feelings, I think this is... I mean, we were texting before this, and you said... You were like, I started at like 10:30, and then it was like 12:30, and I was done. It didn't feel long.
Yes.
The smoke is so bad. Oh my gosh.
I'm sure I'll get some and have to cry through an episode or two. So
I'm just gonna do it with my eyes closed.
Okay. Yeah. You are speaking, not looking.
Okay.
So.
What was your question?
Give me your spoiler-free general feelings. And we were texting about it. You said time didn't fly by.
Yeah,
Wait,
I feel like
time did fly by.
The writing is just so tight.
Yes.
And it's so like well paced and well structured that it doesn't feel like a 2 hour. I mean, it is a 2 hour movie, but it doesn't feel like a 2 hour movie.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think Will is just like such a such a well-written and intriguing character.
Yes.
That it's just like so interesting to watch him exist.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, my thoughts are decently similar. Sorry, my mic is flying around. We're having a wild episode.
We're having
so
all
far.
kinds of technical difficulties.
Thanks for being here, guys. I think my feelings on this film are overwhelmingly positive. Every time I watch it, this film,
For sure.
I also think, and we'll get into this when we kind of do our review section, but it's aged incredibly well. I think just because the story is so strong. Like, yeah, you can tell this movie was made in, 2000 or whatever year this came
I
out.
feel like it's 99, but it
General
doesn't matter.
ballpark that.
97.
97. All right, we were both wrong. It's an older movie compared to what comes out nowadays. You know, it's got 28 years going strong, so... But it doesn't really feel as much like that just because the story is so strong. So, overwhelmingly positive. I really enjoy this film, and I would recommend it to basically anybody.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
I think everybody should watch this movie at least once.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like if you are watching movies, this is one to watch. If you were...
Yes, I agree.
If you're into movies or not into movies, I think this is one.
Yeah,
you should
I know.
watch.
I really think anybody should watch this movie.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and give our spoiler warning.
Yeah.
So if you have not seen this movie, now is definitely the time to pause this podcast and go watch it. It's a very quick 2 hours. Just go for it.
And I will say, you don't want spoilers. Just go watch the movie.
Yeah.
Although it has been out for 25 years.
Yeah. We
We
can go into favorite scenes.
Yeah, I think we
next.
can get into favorite scenes, what we like, what we didn't,
Yes.
etc.
Yeah. Hit me with your favorite scene.
I think I have 3, which I don't know if is loud, but
No, it's fine.
we make our own rules.
Yes.
The bar scene for sure.
Yes.
It's just like iconic. The breakthrough scene, and then I think the scene where Robin Williams and Matt Damon, are just like the baseball game, and just like all the banter that they have.
Yes.
It's just like so well written and so fun to watch.
Yes.
It's just so good.
Yeah, and a little behind the scenes thing, which if you're into movies, you probably know this, but that scene where he's telling all these stories about, Sean is telling all these stories about his wife to Will, and Will's laughing. The camera is shaking up and down because the cameraman was laughing so hard at these jokes because, Robin Williams is going off the riff and all this stuff, and you know how Robin Williams improvises all the time. So, anyway, fun behind the scenes factoid there. My favorite scenes, which it's hard not to say those scenes you've already said, but I think my 2 favorite scenes are when Robin Williams kind of figures out Will and tells Will that he's just like a scared kid,
Yeah,
who hasn't
the bench scene is also iconic.
Yeah, and it's probably, maybe what won Robin Williams that Oscar or whatever. Like, he's just so good, right? And then also the scene where Ben Affleck, Chucky, is like, "I'll kill you." Like, basically kind of creates that turning point moment for Will where Will realizes, like, hey, I need to kind of mature in this area, So those are my 2. There's other great scenes. Those are just 2 other scenes we kind of touched on, but those are 2 of my favorites. So hit me with what you liked about this movie.
I mean, I've already touched on the dialogue. And I think, I don't know if you want to get into this later, but I'm going to mention it now. Like, Matt Damon was 27 when he wrote this.
Yeah.
Or I guess it came out when he was 27. He wrote it when he was like 2 years before that. So
Yeah.
25. And then Ben Affleck was 22.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's our age-ish.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's crazy to me how much perspective and like emotional awareness these kids had.
Yeah.
And they just nailed it, and then it's held up for like 25 years.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
100%.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, those are definitely 2 of my likes too. I wrote down I wrote some notes while I was watching the movie again. The script, so the dialogue, just the story too. It's just very well written. It's very tight. Like, I'm trying to think of scenes to cut,
Right.
and there's not anything that I would cut, either because the scenes are so great or just because they're integral to the story. Like, it doesn't feel like it's bloated in any moments. And then I also wrote Robin Williams, which is kind of a no-brainer if you're watching this movie.
Right.
Like, he's kind of like the he carries it in a lot of ways, even though there's so many great performances and stuff. Like, he's the heart and soul of the movie. And then I have two more. One, like, sleeper is Danny Elfman's score.
I was gonna mention that.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Because I saw, like, oh, Danny Elfman did this?
I
That's
know.
Cool, 'cause
I
didn't
saw
even
that
know.
too.
And then I was, like, thinking about the whole watch, and I was like, hey, this score is,
It's
like,
good.
it's really good. And
Yeah.
it's not, like, it's not famous or anything. Like, you wouldn't be like, oh, that's the theme from Good Will Hunting. Like, you wouldn't know it. But I don't know. I just think the moments it comes in are just very, very well done. And then, and this is something I think we would need a whole separate episode to touch on, but there's something that's not quantifiable in movies that make movies good to me. And that's, like, the way a film reflects truth. And even though these events aren't true, these characters aren't real, there's something that feels very real and true.
100%.
Like, I think every character in this situation acts exactly how they should, even if it's unexpected. Like, it makes sense, you know? And and even though, again, it's not a real story, not based on a true story, it also conveys the truth of, like, hey, maturity, selfishness, love, you know, taking risks. All these truths is teaching them.
Yeah.
Truths about life that take years to learn. So I think that's something that makes this film not just good, but great. And one of the, I'd say, maybe better films of all time is that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not just like a movie for the sake of going to see a movie. Like, you learn from it. You can take stuff from it, you know? So that's what I wrote down for likes. So hit me with your dislikes if you have any, which I texted you, I think, when you were watching it, or maybe when I was watching it, because we watched it at different times. I was telling you, like, this is genuinely hard for me to find anything I dislike about this movie. And I'm not just saying that because, like, I have some bias towards this movie. Like, I do really enjoy the movie, and I think it's great, and it's hard for me to find something that I would prefer to be different.
I think I have one thing, and I don't know. It's the minorest of things.
Yeah, nitpicking.
Right. I wish, and it could be even more of a preference but I wish that there were more time spent in, like, the group of friends.
Yeah.
So we could have that, like, weight of why Will wants to stay in Boston and why he's comfortable there. Because like it's just kind of a lot of telling and not a lot of showing.
Yeah.
And there is showing. I mean, there's a lot of time with his friends, but I don't know. It just, especially with Ben Affleck. Like, I wish they had more. I mean, they have the iconic scene, but I wish there was more of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think there could have been a way to maybe show, like, hey, these guys have been together for, I mean, since they were 5 years old.
Right,
you know? I don't know the way to convey that, but I think that is a valid little nitpicky thing. For me, and this is just, like, it's a dislike, but it just shows how good the film is that I dislike Stellan Skarsgård's character. And it's intentional, like, they wrote him this way.
Right.
Like, I don't like him. And there's this one little scene where he's trying to find Will after he solves the proofs, and he goes down to this, like, I guess facilities office or whatever at Harvard, and he's with his assistant or whatever. And Stellan's like, I'm trying to find this student that works for you, and he's like, we don't have students that work for us. The facilities guy is. And he's like, sorry, we can't give you a name or anything. And the assistant's like, do you know who this is? This is Professor, I think it's Lambo.
Yeah.
Finally found the name. Took us 25 minutes. This is Professor Lambo, and he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, he says some joke or whatever. But the film makes him unlikable. Like, there's the scenes where he's, like, flirting with students. I'm like, yo. Like,
yeah, I know.
It's, like, subtle, but, like, he's, like, he's, like, talking to this girl student and, like,
crazy.
talking, like, weirdly about a math theorem of how it's, like, romantic. And I'm like, what the heck? Like,
that's in, like, the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, it's just little things that kind of make him unlikable. And he does have some resolution. He has conflict with Sean the whole movie, and they have some resolution at the end. He's not completely unlikable, but I think it's just kudos to the writing and to the acting that I don't like him. Like, I don't like his character. So, anyway, that's that for me. So, do you want to get into our review, our rating of it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Which I think, I might guess where you are, and you guess where I am. How about that?
We're probably in the same spot.
We're probably in the same spot. If you don't know our tiers, highest tier is you should own a steelbook of this movie. Second highest tier, you should watch it in theaters. Middle tier, you should watch this movie on streaming. Second lowest tier, you should maybe watch it on Tubi. And lowest tier, even if you see this DVD at a thrift store for 99 cents, leave it there. What? Actually, just tell me yours.
I'm going highest tier.
Yeah.
For sure.
You should own a steelbook
sure,
or
bro.
best version of it, or at least own it physically, maybe. For me, I'm going lowest tier.
Liar.
No, I'm just kidding.
Liar.
I own this movie on Blu-ray. It's the highest tier. I mean, genuinely though, I think this movie is very rewatchable. It shows a lot of truth. It's maybe one of the greatest movies out there. At least top 20, top 50.
Definitely top 50.
Yeah, easy,
for sure.
Easy. We'll make a list maybe at some point. Who knows?
That's gonna be a hot take. That's a dangerous game.
Anyways,
you're guaranteed to piss somebody off no matter where you go.
Yeah, that's true. But it's all subjective.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
Well, leave us your review. Tell us what you think. Send us your mail to our email that is in our description.
That will be out.
We still don't have an email yet.
We haven't even posted any episodes yet.
Yeah, these are all pre-recorded. So, anyway, hope you're hearing this. That's it for this discussion of Good Will Hunting. We're still fine-tuning it. You got any closing thoughts, Drew?
Go watch Good Will Hunting. Again. Watch it again.
And next week, what are we watching, Drew?
I don't know.
You picked this movie.
Oh, wait, did I?
Yes.
Is it, Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind?
Oh, my gosh. Next week, we're watching Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. It's Drew's pick, so...
It's a banger movie.
It is a banger movie. Go watch it.
Go watch it.
Catch our review next week. Anything else? That's it?
No, that's it.
All right. Catch you later. Take it easy.